Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today in this another episode of Miracle Healings. And today's story, is an overcoming story. It is for you that is a single parent, a single mom, a single dad, or even a single that is going through a challenge right now and having trouble times and maybe feeling hopeless, but as well as you that already have an overcoming story and can identify and be inspired by this amazing woman, this beautiful being that I have with me today, Yazmin Castellano. Thank you so much for being here today with us.
Thank you so much. It is an honor for me to be here with you.
Yeah, so let's go straight to the beautiful story because when I was reading your email and I was every line that I was reading, I was getting chills and I thought to myself, I got to share this story because
Uh,
it's such an incredible story.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So just this is a little part of my life. So basically, I was married for 16 years and five dating. So 21 years of the only person that I had in my life. And we had three beautiful kids. And my degree is in mental health, so it happens to be that my ex-husband had or still does severe mental health issues.
Mhm.
um, Trying to fix him during, and of course after you realize that's not a reality. You don't fix anyone.
Right.
um, but in the process of the marriage, he was not very helpful. And he was like another child. So actually,
Right.
literally, like I had to tell him, get ready, take a shower, that's the clothes that you have to wear, we're going out, like literally another child.
Right.
But anyways, I knew we were having issues in the marriage. Like I was realizing, okay, this is not going anywhere. But I got pregnant, surprised, and my pregnancy was very difficult, and my daughter started having some developmental issues in the womb. Fair enough, he when she born with disabilities. She has a diagnosis of autism plus other disabilities.
This
I
is
was laid off.
through you discover all that throughout the pregnancy
No, that was discovered later in life.
later.
I mean, the first diagnosis was developmentally delayed and failure to thrive, and that's what you got at the beginning to work with.
Right.
But being in the field, you already know what's the going on, what's the deal. I just needed to wait for the appropriate age for the professionals to confirm
Mhm.
the diagnosis. And actually, it didn't bring me any more. It brought me a relief because they're like, okay, it's confirmed actually.
Right.
Um, and so yeah, but the fact of being a single mom, I through because of the divorce, I was unable to work. Because of the pregnancy, I got laid off. And
So the first
after.
thing that happened is that you got laid off because of
Yes, during my pregnancy, I got laid off. So my ex-husband was not working at the time.
right.
He had a part-time job, like a teenager type of, like a cashier in a local grocery store.
Hmm.
And of course, that doesn't pay the bills. So I was the one paying the bills. So our finances went down. Our services went down because I need to pay for mortgage and food and
Right.
basic needs. We're not talking about anything that it was not basic, like food,
Hmm.
a house, and gas.
Right.
I remember one time I was coming from an appointment. It was kind of far away from an appointment for my daughter, and I was out of gas. The car was on empty. Actually, the red light turned on, and I was
Uh-huh.
just praying, praying, please let me get home.
Hmm.
And I made it home, and at home we had this 5 gallons gas tank, and
Uh-huh.
that I used to put gas on my car because we didn't have money for gas.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So um, so yeah, that's I was like praying
Right.
through the whole thing. So yeah, so my we had no money.
Uh-huh.
But I decided to leave because he being him having mental health issues, he threatened me
Right.
and was like, no, I'm not gonna jeopardize the safety, my safety or the safety of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I draw the line, and I just left. I didn't have a place to stay. I stayed in a room that my friend, um, um, thanks the Lord that she helped me and let me
Mm-hmm.
stay there until by faith I got an
Right. So
apartment. It was
that was beautiful to have your
yeah,
friend in such a difficult time in your
yeah,
life, right?
yes. I was blessed of having that good friend that really
Mm-hmm.
gave me a hand, and I had a good support system, and they helped me through the process. And honestly, I just walked by faith because if you think about it, I'm unemployed, I'm living out of welfare, I'm living in
Right.
low income apartment for low income. Nothing wrong with it because I live it there,
Right.
but the difference between having a house which is 4 bedroom, 2 bath, a big patio,
Right.
uh, and everything to a small apartment. And
So
um,
what was that? The You had the breakthrough moment when you decided to leave. How that happened? What happened inside of you when you said, "Okay, this is enough for me and
my
my kids"? How that happened?
I come from a family that is a lineage of strong women,
Right.
and my grandma always drilled on my brain night. You make sure that you finish your degree, make sure that you are educated because don't let anything to hold you back. If a house is a house, material things are material things, but your education is what's going to put you back on your feet.
So basically, her wisdom were saying to you, be with yourself, take care of yourself, because the material things come and go,
Mm-hmm.
but take care and invest on yourself. You're growing. Well, that's beautiful.
Yes, and those
That,
were the words that just pop up on my mind when he
right.
threatened me. It's like I don't need to um, have the need to put up with this. I mean, I can get
Right.
back on it. A house is a house. That material things are material things, and literally,
Hmm.
like I lost everything. I only had my clothes on my bed. That was it,
And your kids.
and my kids, of course. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So how it was when you got in this room with your three kids, you were in a friend's house and you were starting over. What do you think that what moved you? What kept you going? What was that?
I'm very resilient, and
Huh?
I consider myself being a fighter.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I consider myself a woman that thrives in life.
Right.
I have had a lot of other challenges in life that I have overcome. This was not the first one.
Hmm.
So it was like I have overcome other challenges in the past in my life. I can overcome this one. For me, giving up has never, ever has been an option. Ever. Ever.
Right. That's
Not
so
that you don't.
beautiful.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you don't feel at the edge of, oh my gosh, I'm done, or
Hmm.
on this deep times in your life that you are, crawling on your bed, crying and saying, "I'm done. I cannot take it anymore."
Right. And that
But
is actually a blessing, right? When
mm,
we go through calls and really hard times and we are in deep, emotions and density and we don't know what to do and then we have all those feelings and we are hopeless. And I think if we allow this movement of energy and in ourselves and just allow to leave that moment, we are able to overcome like you did, right? And I think
it
it's
is.
so important what you just said about resilience, and I want to touch in this because it's incredible. I think our audience will love this as well. So when you talked about resilience, this you felt inside of you, it's like it was a belief that you always had. What would make you be so resilient? How that happened inside of you? How you didn't, you have like this fuel to keep going?
Um, well, I've never thought about that actually. I've,
Ah,
I've never thought about how in the world do I get so resilient. I
uh-huh.
think I think the role model that I had as a child of my
Right.
grandma. I mean,
Hmm.
being a single mother of five. Um, yes, and back in the days, I mean, battling poverty, big time poverty, and
Right.
she only had a first grade, and she knew how to write and read, and she was sharp as a knife in terms of numbers,
Hmm.
and she never gave up. I mean, she was able to bring her five kids, to a very good level in terms of, from poverty to middle class.
Right.
And she
Right.
did a so plus the grandkids of the two oldest daughters that she also raised.
So it's
So
that faith, that feeling that you probably heritage from her, right? The feeling, the trust. Is that trust, do you think?
I would say yes. It is. It is trust, and we always had a very strong connection. And even
Right.
if now, I mean, of course, she passed away a long time ago. But even
Yeah.
if that she passed away, I still have that strong connection,
Mhm.
a spiritual connection, of course, with her.
Right. Right. That's
So
beautiful. That's beautiful. So then you are with your three kids in this small apartment. So then what happened? And you have your disabled daughter at the time she was a baby, right?
yes, and well, at that time, I was basically I couldn't go to work because I was living in at the hospital with her. Uh,
Right.
Monday to Friday. She was like Raggedy Ann type of doll. Like she won't
Mm-hmm.
do anything. She was not reacting to anything. So she was fed through a feeding tube because she didn't know how to swallow. She didn't know how to do anything. So they have to taught her absolutely everything. How to swallow, how to say yes or no by moving her head. So she got feeding therapy. She had a speech therapy. She started communicating kind of through sign language because she was nonverbal. She has occupational therapy. She has physical therapy. That was a lot of physical therapy for her. Um, and taught her how to walk, how to crawl, how to go up and down stairs. How to hold a spoon, absolutely everything. She was
Mm-hmm.
taught everything. She was taught how to get used to the different textures of food because she
Right.
had aversion
And
toward the
how
texture.
long this process took?
It's still going. The process never ends. Now, when we are on a break, of course, it's not as intense as it is now.
Right.
I need to say that I remember the doctor told me that she was not going to walk and she needed a wheelchair and and a walker. I mean, she was able to walk with a walker, of course, because she's,
Right.
but not by herself. And I remember ordering that. And that same night, we were at church, and there were praise and worship and whatever.
Hmm.
And she just uh, grasped the chair, stand up, and started walking all the way up today.
Wow. Wow, what a beautiful
And
So what do you consider that, because you guys were inside the church, right? Why wouldn't that happen?
yes,
So,
yes, I do have faith. I'm very spiritual, and
uh-huh.
I believe that was just a miracle. I mean, she walks, she runs, she swims, she plays the violin, she draw.
Wow.
Yeah, from someone that,
So that is actually a overcoming story as well, and be able to um, have all that power. This is a, a wonderful example of how we as human beings we are capable of everything. And
yes, we are.
right.
We are, and there's difficulties and struggles in life, but I
Mhm.
think first of all, I believe in just being grateful every day.
Right.
Just think about everything that you are grateful for, that you have now, that we sometimes take for granted. Like, well, I'm in Florida, so there's gorgeous weather in
Right.
Florida right now.
Yeah.
And the sun, and then the wind, and sometimes
Hmm.
we take all those things for granted. Um,
Right. Exactly. And were you always like this, even in the troubled times, even when you were
yes,
going through the
yes,
right? Because the feeling of gratitude, you are grateful when you receive something, right? And
yes,
someone gives you something, you say, okay, thank you, I'm grateful for what you're doing.
yeah,
But just have that feeling, I guess you open the doors to receive, right? Even when when we are having these troubled times, if we can have this ability that you had of being grateful, okay, thank you for what I'm learning, thank you for what I'm going through, right? and
yeah. That
and
is
I
also,
think, yeah, so that was the result. Your gratitude helped you so much.
yes, that is also very important. Being grateful for the challenges that the
Right.
life is giving you, even though we don't like it. But the way
Right.
it is, like when we were kids and the doctor prescribed a medication that we didn't like because it tasted nasty. Uh, right? But your parents will make you take it anyways, and you don't want
Right.
so but however, it's through the medication, even though you don't like it, that you're
Right.
going to feel better eventually, right? So that's
Right.
how I see challenges is like that medicine that tastes yucky, but
That's a wonderful way to see it. I love it. I love it. Exactly.
so as an adult, we are grateful because I mean, wow, I'm evolving and going to the next level. I can't
Right.
wait to see the better version of myself once
Yes.
I you know get to the other side of the fence. And it is hard because of course it's part of it, um
Yeah. So
but we need to be
you didn't work for a while when you guys were into,
yes,
wow.
yeah. I didn't work for a while. As I said, I lived out of welfare. My ex was not providing any type of financial support or child support at
Mm.
the time because he was not working and or any type of support. But
What do you think it kept you going in that moment? It was like something that you have to leave for example. What do you think?
it's faith number one,
Hmm.
and number two. I just don't just it is for me. I guess it's a pride. The fact that I just don't. I'm not going to give up. I mean, I no. It's like a kind of a power struggle with myself.
Right.
As
Yeah,
I'm
that is actually a belief, right? You believe I'm
Mhm.
not going to give up. I believe in something. Something might come out of this, and
Mhm.
it's a healthy belief, right? And then faith is ability um, to trust and have confidence in God. In my case, I believe in God,
Mhm.
and someone or something that we
Mhm.
cannot see, right? But we know inside of us that beautiful day must arrive someday, and as you said, you knew with your gut that right, that you wouldn't give up, that something will you will come out of all that, right?
Yes. Yes, I knew. And another thing is that as a mother, when the love that you have for your kids,
Hmm.
um, I mean, it's just that I cannot give up because if I give up, what's going to happen with my kids? Because I had two others as well, so
Yeah.
there were three, or they are three actually. Um, so I mean, that's it's just I cannot give up because I got others who depend on me, and I
Right.
can I cannot do that.
But it's incredible the power of mother's love, and it's
Yes.
totally unconditional love, right? And
It is. Another thing that helped me a lot is self
mhm,
care. And sometimes us as a mothers and single moms, or like just being human beings, whenever we are facing challenges, we forget about self care and
right.
the importance of exercising. I mean, if
Hmm.
when we realize that when you go out and you just walk, because I mean, sometimes we don't have the energy to do anything else than walking, and the way I
Right.
explain to my clients is like, if you walk from point A to point B, you have to come back. I mean, there's no
Yes.
choice, and and
Yes.
and walking is easy. It's something that we do all the time,
Right.
without
Yeah.
so go outside and walk. Just walk. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Get your headphones
But
or
I
whatever.
think it's a very nice factor that you are adding to it is the intention, right? That you say go
Mhm.
to point A to from point A to point B and intend to do it already help to move a lot. Not only our bodies but our energy, right?
Yes, yes, and the brain will create the chemicals,
Mm-hmm.
like when you're taking a medication for
Right.
depression and anxiety. Of course, I understand that sometimes the medication is definitely needed,
Mm-hmm.
but the exercise and taking care of yourself also help, and just living
Mm-hmm.
in the present moment. I remembered, and you know for me not to get all my thoughts going wild in my mind, like what am I going to do to pay the rent? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How am I
Right.
spend with my daughter? So I was like, okay, I'm just cleaning the kitchen now, and I'm just doing the dishes, and I'm cooking, and what do I need? Oh, I need this, and I need the spoon. Like giving myself instructions of step by step that I needed to do, even though of course I know what to do, you know.
So
But it was, trying to live in that present moment.
right. So basically another component of your self-care was shift your awareness to the present moment and not allow the world outside or your agenda outside to control you. Instead, once you shift your focus and your awareness to that present moment and be there, then things you were able to, right, maybe have less anxiety and be more calm, and then have more capacity to take the decisions that you needed to take at that moment.
Yes, yes, definitely. And that helped because on my mind, I was like, yesterday is gone. I survived. I don't have to worry about it. Tomorrow is not here.
Wonderful.
So
Yeah,
because
and then as you
I
said, you
don't have
can
to
be
worry about
grateful
it. Yeah.
because it's yesterday, it's another day. This is a new day I'm grateful for. So did you do like meditation when you're taking care about yourself in this matter, like your emotions, your mind set? What did you do?
Well, at that time, I was not doing a lot of meditation like as I'm doing now. In terms of my spirituality, there's was a shift in the past, I would say, 2 years or 3 years.
Hmm.
But at that time, I was doing. I have always been very spiritual and very intuitive. So at the time, I was involved in church a lot.
You were
So
praying.
a lot of prayers. Yeah,
Yeah, but the prayer is a meditation. Prayer is
exactly.
a communion, right? So
Yes.
you when you're praying, you are in communion with yourself, with your truth,
Hmm.
with everything, with the source, with the unconditional love, and it's actually the most incredible tool that we have, I think, since Asian men to grow and to develop, right? Asian men used to pray um, for example, Native Americans, they used to pray for the rains. They will feel
Hmm.
the rain. They will imagine the rain. They will pray for it, and that's I think that's absolutely what kept you going and taking care of yourselves, right?
Yes, definitely. That helped me a lot to just keep on going. The prayer at the time or meditation. Um, yes, definitely. That
So
helped
you
me.
have that spiritual support because when you're going from all those troubled times, you were at the church, so you have
Yes.
that support as well, right?
Yes, I had the support, my support group from church at that time, which I'm very blessed and grateful for everything
Yes.
that they did at that time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then that also was, even if we were not thinking, I think that's one of the most powerful supports that you have. And at the end, your daughter ended up walking in the
Hmm.
church. That is how powerful. And sometimes we take for granted, right? We 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 don't imagine how powerful it can be just to sit a few moments and get in communion and allow ourselves to have these beautiful moments with ourselves and the source and God, right?
Yes, definitely. And I think starting the day, I used to, I still do, start the day by, at the time the prayer was like, okay, this is a new day. Uh, Lord, get me through it. You know, I need you to help me to go through it.
Hmm.
Of course, as things change, you change
Right.
your your your
Hmm.
your um your thoughts in the morning or your prayer in the morning. So now I do a meditation. I do
Hmm.
uh, my my being grounded in the
Right.
morning, or guided meditation, or I am affirmations, depends on what it is.
Hmm.
But yeah, I try to start my day with that.
Hmm. So and how was in back in the day after you, so you started to work again, and then
Oh yeah.
how that all happened?
Yes. So as she started walking and becoming more becoming stronger,
Mhm.
Um, I was able to put her in like in a daycare, but it was like a house daycare with one of my friends. Um, and that helped. And then as she was getting services, then she was able to attend to a preschool for kids with special needs.
Mhm.
And once she attended that preschool for kids with special needs, I was able to go and work because that she was in school,
Right.
and they were able to care for her, and it was after school.
Right.
So I was able to work, and as I started working full time, I was able to get back on my feet, get out of welfare. I remember the day I got it out of welfare. I celebrated.
That's wonderful.
I
That is
celebrated it,
wonderful.
left the apartment, moved to a house, and right now I'm back on track. And actually, right now I'm working on my doctorate. So
Wow.
that I couldn't finish before, now I'm finishing it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, do you think that you in when you were going through this transitions, right? Um, do you have any moments of hopeless or any moments that you hesitated of that you thought that life was unjust or anything like that happening?
Oh yes, I mean when we are going through challenges, and that's part of being human. I mean we are human,
Yes.
and that's totally normal. You go into this I don't know, I will call it like deep tunnel inside
Uh-huh.
where everything is dark and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and this hopelessness, and
Mm-hmm.
you feel like I cannot, this is way too much, I cannot do it anymore, I'm giving up, I'm done. And you have this I call it temper tantrums. This temper tantrum with God, and you argue with God and fight with God, or or
Right.
the higher power, whatever people believe, and you just argue and fight with them or with her, whatever.
Right.
Um, and yeah, and you just cry your eyes out, or you get in anger and
And
this.
those moments are important to live
Yeah,
them, right? And I think acceptance as well, acceptance of what is going on and surrender, right? Surrender to it, as you said, and then okay, it's a bad medicine. It tastes bad, but if I surrender to my resistance of how this medicine tastes, right? Maybe you will go through and right, and
that
I'll
is
be
correct. That is correct. That's why when you are in those deep moments,
fine.
sorrows and moments, I totally believe those are healing moments,
Mhm.
as long as we are our mind it is strong enough to be able to get out of it.
Right.
Because it can go both ways. There's people that I don't know why. That's just how it goes. There's people
How,
that are
what do you
stronger than.
consider that kept you getting out of that in those moments?
I'm sorry.
What do you consider that kept you getting out of that in those moments?
Uh, my faith, my thoughts. Knowing that I think having the hope and the faith that God has always been there for me, and He has never abandoned me, and He has always protected me, and He has always provided me, and He was. So yeah, those are facts, and I knew that this is not going to be any different.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have my temper tantrum, like whatever, but and also I would say fear of God. Like I don't see myself turning my back. I can be mad. I can be um, scared, I can be whatever, but I'm just gonna keep walking. I'm just gonna keep walking. There's no turning back. For me, turning back would be
So
turning.
even if you were fearful,
Mm-hmm.
you kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's incredible. Why it's fear and love. Basically, these are the two basic feelings that we do, and everything else come from it. So, what is fear? Fear is lack of love. What is love? Is lack of fear. So your the fear maybe if you are being in that situation of having that life in that circumstances for a long time, maybe you kept going, but also it was the love, right? The love for yourself, the love for your kids. What about the love from for your kids?
Yes, yes, and the love for my kids, the love, like I said before, the fact that as a mother, you just cannot. I mean, it's not a choice. You just don't give up. I mean, it's not a choice for me. You just have to, keep going. You have um, three kids, three souls, three human beings that are totally dependent on you, and don't get me wrong, I do understand because I have had moms that they just cannot, and I have had moms that they are just like, I'm done, and they don't have the strength, physically, mentally, emotionally, to,
Right.
because it's not easy, and fear is a very strong
Yeah.
feeling, and it can
Yeah.
really really paralyze you.
Yes.
And it's not to be like, oh, you guys are weaker. No, no, no. I mean, it is
Yeah.
not easy. Not easy. Also, very important is asking for help. We
Yes.
need to ask for help and accept
Exactly.
help. You
That's
know.
beautiful. Asking and you shall receive, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Um, sometimes we cannot do it by ourselves, and I fully believe in asking, and I fully believe that we have to exercise this because we have an opportunity not only to learn but to grow, to exercise being humble, and when you exercise being humble, you open the doors, to receive more, and kind of the same thing as being grateful, right? And this is so beautiful that you were able just to ask, right? And then what happened? You received, right?
Yes, I did. I did, and it's by not giving up, by reaching out, asking for help, and also your creativity get activated when you're not giving up and you're just trying to
Mhm.
see, okay, what am I going to do? You get
Mhm.
more creative, and
Right.
you learn to pick your battles. You learn to give importance what is really important. And
Mhm.
again, self-care. You cannot give what you do not have, and kids are important and they are a
Right.
priority in our lives, but they cannot come first. You come
Mhm.
first. And sometimes, especially for us as Hispanic moms, it's like, how are you saying that? You know, what a mother. How
Right.
could you?
Yes,
Well, the
yes,
problem is that if I don't put myself first, meaning that I don't take care of myself, I cannot give what I don't have.
exactly, exactly.
That's just how it goes.
Yes. And what do you consider that are the healings? I mean, the literally the miracle healings in all this process. What do you heal yourself from? What was, that made yourself grow, and the biggest challenge that you had in yourself that you healed from?
Well, I regained my confidence.
That's wonderful.
I built up my confidence, my self esteem. I was living, but I was not alive. No, I was alive, but I was not living.
Right.
And I learned how to live my life. I learned
Mhm.
to take ownership from my life. So I grew
Responsibility,
spiritually.
accountability.
Yes, I rediscovered myself. I changed my look. I remember going to a store trying to buy, clothes for me, and I was just
Uh-huh.
standing there at the rack, and I didn't even know what I like. I was like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I want. I don't know. I don't know how to buy anything for myself. So it was rediscovering myself, learning about myself, learning who I am inside, and project that in the outside.
Right.
And that was a process. It took time, and yeah, and taking ownership for my life. Like it
Right.
is my life, and whatever I do with my life is what I do with it. I mean, it's in my hands. Whatever I decide to do, that's
Right. So many healings, so many beautiful things that came out of it. Would you tell that you are grateful for everything you went through?
oh yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Yes.
All challenges we might not like it, but we need we don't have to, but it's good to be grateful for
Yes.
all the
Yes.
challenges, and also sometimes people ask themselves, but why me, why me, why this, why that,
Exactly.
and it's not about why, it's about, okay, what do I need to learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
This is happening for me. It's like when someone is giving you a present, that present is for me, so this is for me. uh,
Yes.
and learning, trying to see, okay, what do I need to learn from this, what do I need to heal with this, and the universe or God will let you know, hey, sweetie, this is what I need you to learn from this is what I need you to
Exactly.
heal from. And she probably will be like, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point that you're bringing, because it's the way you face the problems, right? So you were facing the problems as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to, you know, overcome all that and to get to know you, to overcome all the things that you had inside, and you came out of it way better. It's just the way, if we start to look at the problems, as you said, as a gift that come to us, right? For us to heal, for us to grow, for us to learn, because it's my belief that we come to this planet to heal ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
that is true. I believe we come over here to become the better versions of ourselves,
Exactly.
spiritually, and with a purpose. I mean, it comes hand in hand. So
Mhm.
as you evolve and become the better version of yourself here on earth, is and you develop those skills for you to put it into your purpose, and your purpose is always attached into helping or serving others, is to give to the universe or to the world.
That's
um, it's
beautiful.
not for your own gain.
Yes. Yes. Giving and receiving. Would you say that you found your purpose after all that?
Yeah, always, even way before that.
Oh,
I
that's
what I
that's
was here for.
wonderful. That's wonderful, Yasmin. And also the passion, right? It looks like after what you're saying, after you overcame all those issues, you have more passion for life, right?
Yes. Oh, definitely, definitely, because I felt empowered. I
Yes,
motivated.
empowerment.
Yes, I felt empowered. I felt confident,
Hmm.
and I still do. I still feel confident. I still feel empowered, and that's what you project into the world, and that's
Right.
doors starts to open.
Yes, and just exactly, and living with passion, right? Being grateful and knowing that life, it is a challenge sometimes. Yeah, we're gonna go through tough times, but we can love life as well. We can be grateful for everything that we went through, and we as human beings, as you said, the resilience, we are capable of everything. And I think your story is, it's so amazing when it comes to that, because not only you was able to by yourself in a situation that you maybe you were totally hopeless and thinking, oh my god, it's just me, but also your daughter was able
Mhm.
to walk, right? That's beautiful. That's
Thank you so
beautiful.
much. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a little tiny miracle in terms of, we still have issues, and it's not
Mhm.
that, there's still, the journey never stops. That's just how it goes. You just learn how to kind of get used to it. So
Yes.
there's still frustrations and fears, and that just come with it. But
And
you just
how you live with them with these things today? How, what it shift when you have these feelings and
um
frustrations, as you said, and
you just keep using your faith. I mean, I do believe that, I mean, all kids were sent by God, but when I got pregnant with her, I remembered saying, because things were not going well, and
right.
financially was not there, and no ways for me to have another child. And just to be clear, we never planned to have three kids.
Right.
So I remember when I found out that I was pregnant, I was like, well, you know what, God? I guess you were a little bit crowded up there. So you decided to bring someone down here. You're going to take care of this little one. I didn't know if it was a girl or a boy. So
Right.
you're going to have to take care of this one. And just to let you know, I think you're going to have to be the father, because the one that you sent me over here was and kind of joking and whatever, and I'm
Right.
very blunt with when I pray or talk to God, and like I don't have any filter, because I mean, hello, what am I gonna? So, but it has always been like that. I mean, he has always taken care of her. He has been the father of her, one way or another, and yeah, that's the truth. And she's so resilient. The beauty of kids with disabilities is that they are extremely resilient, so positive in life, so motivated, so grateful. I mean, it's amazing how the things that she will say. Like, if we go to the hospital, and she will, Mom, I'm so grateful for going to the hospital, because whatever comes to her mind at that time, I'm like,
Because
wow.
they are present in the moment, right?
Yes, yes.
Exactly what you were saying. And the kids already are way more present and way more in the moment than us. But disabled kids, absolutely. It's, you're so
Yes.
right, and this is so beautiful, so
It is.
beautiful.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, they are. I learned so much from her, and how resilient she is, and how much love she has for life, in spite of all the um, challenges that she has to go through life.
Right.
Even not so long Saturday, she couldn't walk. She woke up Saturday and she couldn't walk, so she was crawling until her legs got back up, you know, back on track and warm up. I don't know. So, and she's think it's a game, and she's as happy as she can be, and she is joyful, and she's not complaining.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful
Mm-hmm.
because they have that feeling, that connection, right? They are fully immersed in themselves all the time. Kids that have this beauty of being immersed, of being pure, and then okay, eventually I will walk, right? And that's, this is, as you said, is such a wonderful opportunity just for us to observe a kid and learn all the time from
That
them.
is, I learned so much from her, in terms of how positive she is, and how motivated and joyful and hopeful she is, and
Right.
that also gives you strength, because it's like, wow.
Right, right. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to have you sharing your story with us today, Yasmin. It's beautiful, it's inspiring, it's the resilience and the fact that how you face everything. Thank you so much for this moment that we have together today.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Actually, I'm the one that is super grateful of being
Yeah,
here, and you're doing such a wonderful job in providing this information to so many in the whole world. You know, that have access to it,
yeah,
and I think that humanity is in so much need for messages like the one that you are giving and providing. So thank you so much
yeah,
for the
exactly.
wonderful job that you're doing.
You, yeah, and that's the idea. That's the idea. That's the message to bring this message of hope of how we as human beings we are capable of everything and through love, through faith, through resilience, as you said. So, yes, I'm very happy to be able to share these beautiful stories and you as well. So, if you love, like I did, the Yasmin's story, and if you are interested to get in touch with her, even to get even more inspiration directly for her, she can will share with us our her email now.
Yes, my email is YAYIM, like mom, G as ghost, 13 at gmail.com.
Perfect. And you're starting a podcast yourself, right? You would like to talk a little bit
Yes,
about it?
yes, I do have a YouTube channel. It is in Spanish, and I just started, so I don't have a lot of videos. But it's basically what you're doing as well. But for the Hispanic women's, that I do believe that they need to be empowered, and they need a lot of grow that confidence on themselves. So yes, I do have my YouTube channel is Cuéntame tu historia. That's the name of the YouTube channel.
Right. That's wonderful. I'm so excited to be able to hear all these beautiful stories as well. And
Yeah,
I think it's a wonderful idea. Women, I think Hispanic women, and they went through a lot as well, and they need this. It's going to be really, really good to have a space for them as well to share their stories and motivate and inspire other women as well.
totally agree with you. And in the near future, I hope you can join us and have you in as a guest.
Yes, yes, that would be my pleasure. It was so thank you so much for today.